At the moment, we got twofold. We have the normal testing that we have, plus the added COVID service that we've just added. COVID at the moment, we're processing around 500 diagnostic samples. At the beginning, when we had to settle into it, and we were getting the waves, we were hitting areas of about 600 to 700. Those numbers might not seem a lot, but when you see the actual process itself, 600 COVID swab is a far feat for the team. We have, in perspective, the COVID team work on a shift system. They do 12-hour shifts. And the main lab also runs a 24/7 service. So realistically, we are producing results 24/7, 365 days a year. So in the peak times, Christmas for example, when everybody's having the Christmas turkey, our teams are here basically churning the results to basically protect the general population, because it's us who trigger the actual result that triggers the contact tracing that basically gets the patients who are positive to stay at home and obviously stop the spread.
This is sort of the second stage of processing of the samples for COVID, for PCR. So once they've been received and booked into our run sheet, they come here into this room where we inactivate the sample so that it's not infectious to us to handle it anymore outside of the cabinets. And then we're extracting the RNA from the virus itself so that it can then be processed for PCR for detection, amplification and detection. This is really where we're actually running all of the PCR. This is the main process part of getting our final results. So beside me here we've got the Myra, which is an automated machine for pipetting the samples into the wells, which will finally be loaded onto the PCR machine. PCR is really just the basic method of testing things. We amplify the RNA and we're able to detect it on the computer, and that's where we get our readout, which just needs then the scientist's interpretation before we can finally report the results.
The results normally, the way they work is we have a system called Modulab, and once we carry out the test, the result goes into the Modulab system. Modulab itself is a live platform, so the doctors can actually see the results live on their side. What we do is once we get the results, and we basically make sure that it's a real result, we basically do is we validate it as scientists. So we basically say, okay, this result is a true result for this patient. And that will basically then come out on the other side, if you want to call it, when the doctor just logs in to look at your results.
The waves haven't really had a massive effect on us because either way, we're still testing the same amount of swabs every day. 500-600 swabs could be coming in, and the workload for us has been the same whether they're positive or negative. But the way that we've kind of evolved over the past year has been incredible. The new equipment has been coming in. Obviously, we're getting a lot more familiar with the processes, a lot more comfortable as it becomes a lot more routine. So I think it's kind of eased off a little bit for us, the pressure, the stress of it all, and I think we're all a lot more comfortable with it nowadays, yeah. We do have a very unique set of circumstances here. We're able to do large amounts of testing. We've got obviously a very high vaccination rate among the population, and for many, many months now we've also been able to track the spread of all of the different variants within Gibraltar through whole genome sequencing, originally sent away and now amazingly being run in-house up at the University Laboratory. And I think that that's going to have some major impacts with public health understanding of this virus and its vaccines. So that should be really interesting to see some of the things that come out of all of that information, I think, yeah.